Hey, Vinyl Community, Jeff here again. Let's talk record store day. So yeah, I should have made this video over the weekend when it was a hot topic, but hey, had a busy weekend. My girls came down for the holiday weekend and drove down to visit my wife and I. And so yeah, we went crazy, just doing things with them and things along that line. So I didn't have a chance to make a video over the weekend. But anyway, I knew record store day would be a little different for me this year. Obviously, I'm in a different location. The town I'm in, there's no record stores. The closest record store would be in Columbia, South Carolina, which would be about 40 minutes away, 35, 40 minutes away. But we knew that when the girls came down, we were going to be heading back to Charleston, which is where we were. My wife and I went last weekend. Charleston's a little over an hour away. So I figured, there was nothing on the record store day list that I felt needed to wait in line anyway. There was nothing that really grabbed my attention much. There were a few things. There was actually 4 things I wanted, and I figured they'll be there when I get there. So we waited and then went down Friday afternoon to Charleston, and I hit a record store that, I was going to hit anyway, but I thought, well, I'll just pick up the stuff there. Actually, we hit 2 over the weekend, but I'm going to cover all the stuff I found there in a different video. Right now, we're talking just record store day. And I went there, flipped through the stuff. They had everything that I wanted. I chose not to get one of them, so I did get 3. I wanted the Steeler reissue. Great album. Of course, it's the beginning of Ron Keel. It's the beginning of Yngwie Malmsteen. It's a great album from back in the day. And I do have an original copy, but I wanted to get an upgraded copy and check this out. So this was pretty high on my list of things that I wanted to pick up was the Steeler. It is on red, clear red, only 2,500 units. So haven't cracked the seal on it yet because, I don't have a record player to play it on, but I've heard it's a great album. So I wanted to grab that. And sure enough, they had some copies there. Up next, I wanted to make sure I got Live at the Print Shop by Collective Soul. I've seen this. There's actually, you can watch it on YouTube, this whole show. It's them kind of like in a studio, kind of a, in a studio and they're doing interviews and then they're doing live stuff. So I don't know if there was much of an audience there, but it was like them, and you can see the picture in the middle there, them in the studio type, kind of like a TV show type thing. But yeah, sounded great. And so here are all of the songs from that session. And like I said, you can see the whole thing, the whole show with the interviews on YouTube. In here, there are 2 silver dollars. This is kind of a neat thing. And then there's a card here that explains it, but it's like the bless another, for you, and a peace offering for someone else. And what they want you to do is you keep one and then you give one randomly. Just pay it forward. Just randomly give to somebody as a blessing. And then there's a QR code in here. You scan and you share with them your story of what you did with that. So it's just a way of kind of, touching somebody else's life. This kind of a neat concept. This album is on like a pink, just pretty, very pretty. It's very heavy, definitely 180, I would assume. And yeah, and so this is great stuff. 11 songs there. So this was high on my list, and then the other one, what I was able to grab is the Government Mule. Government Mule, Time of the Signs. So at first, I just saw Government Mule and I'm like, I'm buying that. I didn't really investigate much into what all these items were. I knew what Live at the Print Shop was. I knew the Steeler. I wasn't sure exactly what this is, but it's, I think it's not the first time they've done a record store day. Other previous stuff has been live, but they've done some other things. So I'm just going to buy it. Government Mule, I'm going to buy it. Includes exclusive edition, limited edition poster included. But what it turns out to be, and this I think is amazing, this is great, because I wish they had done this in the past. So their newest album came out a couple months ago, and of course shortly thereafter, or somewhere around that time, they released a deluxe edition that had bonus tracks. Well, the bonus tracks are not on the album. They released the bonus tracks on here, so now we have that. On the previous album, they did that, and that was back, a couple years ago. I bought the vinyl. It was expensive. I think I might even done like a Kickstarter or something. May have been some kind of a fundraiser for it. And got the album. We paid the full album price. And then they released a CD with like 5 bonus tracks or something. A deluxe edition. And I was a little frustrated because I'm like, we paid all this extra money. Why didn't the vinyl people get some kind of a bonus? Couldn't even get the digital tracks. But so then you find, you have to go out and like buy another edition to get that. And those bonus tracks, as far as I know, never came out on vinyl. The album prior to that, the blues album that they did, same thing. At first, it was a double record set, and then the CD came out. It had like a whole extra, I forget, a whole extra half a dozen songs. They did later release a 3 vinyl edition of that with the bonus tracks. So I have that on my list, but I'm still kind of leery. Just like, why do I want to buy it again? So in this case, you could buy the new album and you get the bonus tracks here. So now we got it all on vinyl. I wish they would go back and do this for other ones when they've done that. So I knew I wanted this. The only other thing that they had that I wanted to get the Kicks reissue of the first Kicks album. But I got there and they had it, but it was expensive at this particular store. I think they went like $40. I'm like, I'm not paying $40 for an album I've already got. I mean, if it was like in the $20 realm, yeah, maybe. So I passed on that. Maybe I'll find it later down the road. I'm sure somewhere, somehow, maybe when I get back to Virginia, somebody will have it and it may drop. I don't know. If not, I'll find it. I don't really need it, so I'm not worried about it. So I didn't get that. But anyway, so that was it. And I got the 3 out of 4 that I really wanted. We did go to a second store the next day, and they had most of these, but I did not see the Kicks there. I wanted to kind of compare it price-wise, but I did not see it, so they must have sold out there. But I'll eventually find it again if I really need to get it. That was it for my record store day. Now, I did find a lot of other great stuff at these stores that I will be showing in future videos, but I'm going to break it down for this one and call this as done. And I will talk to you later. Thanks. Rock on and rock hard.